Well, hello everyone. It looks like we're live. Welcome to this Sneak Attack edition Thursday evening live. We've got Dougster in here and a whole lot of potatoes. Mostly old parts and Russ Patrick. I just talked to mostly old parts, wrong word, earlier today. NSB Lee is here. Auto Salvage Outlaws. Lars is in here. My mom must have notifications because she's in here. Surely she wasn't expecting Thursday. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of eyes wide open and stuff like that because people aren't used to me popping in on a Thursday or with unfinished project. JB says one of the sneak attacks. What did unfinished project win this time? Well, we'll tell you what he won here in a minute. Levi is here. Big Mike's Hoopty Barn. Blue Collar Performance. Cool. Got lots of folks in here. Yeah, so thanks for joining us. I'm not usually live on Thursday, and if you're not used to seeing Unfinished Project live, it's because he's not often live. However, a year ago, maybe two, it could have even been three for all I know, I asked Unfinished Project when he wanted to be on live, and he said February 29th, because there wasn't a February 29th that year. I said, okay, I'll put it on the calendar. And it was a year or two out, but I put it on the calendar, and I'd forgotten about it until I saw it a few weeks ago, and I reminded him of it. So here we are. Slant Daily's here. Rob's Rides and Streetcars. Justin Hill. Welcome, folks. We have Unfinished Project in the house. Bruce Culkin is here. So, Unfinished Project. They're just going to have to take my word for it, but I will tell them that I've verified it's him. We do two-factor authentication on guests here. Yes, Colleen, it is Unfinished Project. So you guys got him cornered for a little bit here. Where is his Waldo hat? I don't know where the red hat is. We're not at Carlisle, so I guess it's out of play. Bruce says Dart Sport. Unfinished Project. Is there anything you want to ask these folks?
No.
No. Oh, come on. We're going to do a giveaway here in a minute, too. We got some stuff to give away. Yeah, Rob's Riding the Streetcars. He came on my live for about 20 seconds last year. Yeah.
I make my rounds.
Yeah, the sightings are rare, but they happen. Colleen says today is Thursday. That's right. More importantly, today is February 29th. Leap year with Unfinished Project. Will it happen next leap year? I hope so, Patrick. Mike says this is hilarious. Well, I'm hoping you guys were here when I said why he's on, because I asked him when he wanted to be on. I don't know if it was a year or two or whatever ago, but I asked him. He said February 29th, and I remembered that and put it on the calendar because we didn't have a February 29th that year, but we do now. And the day is here. Yeah, JB says that's right. He said, yeah, you remember that, don't you? Okay, maybe JB was in there when he said it. NSB says, what knife is that under Bigfoot? He likes his knives.
It's a Barlow knife. Buffalo Brian, who is One-Eyed Cat Don's brother, is interested in buying some Barlow knives so he can do some bartering with somebody who's interested in them. So that is one of them.
Big Mike says I might have been the first channel Unfinished Project stopped by on a live. I think I remember when it happened. I don't know whose it was, but it was pretty wild.
Yeah, he was the first live I've ever been on. Absolutely.
Okay. Justin Hill, yes, I'll be live tomorrow with Andy Wood. We're going to be talking about his new project, Project Bad Intentions, and we will have Andy Wood in the house tomorrow, regular time. I knew this would get everybody all off kilter, but hey, we've had this on the calendar for years. Dougster's picking up your slack in the chat with W350.
I am struggling on my end over here, getting everything right. Being my first time and all.
Getting everything right in what regard?
I've got a laptop, and I'm trying to have you up on the laptop so I can see the chat, which I usually look at on my phone. This laptop, I know nothing about it. It's not mine.
I have a box that a starter came in underneath of my laptop to get it up closer to the camera. And the camera mounts on a desk behind this one to isolate it from vibration. Because I'm so fidgety, I'll bump my desk and the camera will be rocking. That's how I keep that from happening.
Yeah, my video on the laptop is obviously way behind. So I'm struggling because what you're saying with your lips is not what you're saying that I hear.
Dean Stevenson, he cannot talk. Dean Stevenson, are you a proud Islander by chance? I mean, you live on an island and all. I figure you're proud of it. Brian Beeler, how's it going? I saw your 66 and 7 Chevelles, 10,000 and under. Saw a thumbnail. I haven't watched the video yet. Jackie Abbott, the boss, is here. 38 must be in here. I see him greeting. There he is. There's Ray. The lag will mess you up. Yeah, use the StreamYard browser. Unfinished project. Just use the unfinished browser. Just use the unfinished. Needs to use the StreamYard browser only because YouTube will give you a lag and StreamYard will not.
No, okay. Yeah, I don't even know how to get to that from this laptop.
Yeah, Brian, those look like some winners in the thumbnail. John Wilburn with dubbing. Blue collar in here. Well, we're fulfilling, for those of you just getting here, we're fulfilling something that's been on the calendar for years. I asked Unfinished Project when he would come on live, and he very swiftly said February 29th some years ago, because there wasn't a February 29th that year, but I put it on the calendar the first year that did have one, and that is today. So we're making good on that. I always like an excuse to have him on. So it's rare. You guys got him cornered for a little bit. If you have a question for Unfinished Project, it's a great time to ask it. And we're going to do a giveaway here in a little bit. You know what I think I'll do? Something I think I should do. Let me give me just a second. I think I should unblock Rich tonight because he might want to participate. Let's see here. That's what I'll do. Let's see. Dig through the pile of people. Is he even in there? He might not be. There he is. All right. So Rich is unblocked for tonight so that if he wants to participate with his buddy Unfinished Project, he's welcome to. JB wants to know, what color is his hair? I'm assuming you mean Unfinished Project. He wants to know, what color is your hair and do you have a mustache? You can take the fifth on any of this. I mean, Duh. Unfinished Project says he looked like a combination of Big Mike, Lars, Dizzy, and Rich. Whoa! Dougster said he would like to thank my friend Unfinished Project. Because of him, I finally started my channel. Well, that's cool.
That's good to know. That makes me happy.
Big Mike says, this is a bold claim here. I have actually seen Unfinished Project's face, but I would never out him. Okay. You had lunch with Elvis yesterday, too. We got you.
Well, I think it wouldn't be hard. My face is out there for sure. There's no doubt. I'm not hard to track down if someone was really interested.
That's right. You're in the red hat at Carlisle. Technician Troy is here. Indirect Connection. Dakota's in here. Yes, guys, we do have the Unfinished Project cornered for here for a little while. We're going to do a giveaway. Actually, we're going to do 2 giveaways. And this is a treat for me because I've always wanted to have Unfinished Project on. And he agreed to come on February 29th. I guess not even thinking that one of these years there was going to be a February 29th. And here it is.
Here we are.
Now, Dougster says that UP has a long beard like a wizard, very sage-looking gentleman. That's what I imagine anyway. Mike says, I can send him a picture via email, but I'm really not that weirdo. Don't even say that, Mike. You'll have people trying to get it out of you.
I would imagine somebody
Dawn
might
is
pay
here.
money.
Scarlett is here. Blue Collar Performances. I think this is the YouTube version of the Talking Seattle Grunge Rock Blues. Maybe. I had 3 things on my calendar today, and this is number 3. Bad Tree Production says Heathens Assemble. Check it out, Blake. We have the Unfinished Project cornered for a bit. If you have any questions for YouTube's most elusive character, we have him live. Troy says, I know I've been MIA lately. Lots of stuff going on, but all good things. Good deal. Big Mike says that Unfinished Project has been a great supporter of the Hoopty Barn from the beginning. That's cool. So tell us about what you've got in your picture there. Looks like you've got a monster truck parked on top of a knife. What's the truck?
I hope someday to transform that into my W350. It's just a store-bought version right now. Needs different wheels and tires, and color needs to change.
Okay. How big of tires are you going?
Probably the same size that are on it. Just if you look, those are actually like dual tractor tires on that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Not a fan of that, but it's what came on it.
Cool.
Oh yeah, there's a huge lag.
So one thing you can do to help that on YouTube is click the button that says live. It's on the lower left-hand side of the screen if you're going to continue to watch it on there. Irish Outlaw Garage. Hey, welcome, man. He likes to picture Unfinished Project as singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner, dressed in a zoot suit with a voice like Fergie and Roseanne Barr. Man, you guys got some vivid imaginations.
I could probably pull that one off.
So how many of you in the chat have ever heard Unfinished Project before? One-Eyed Cat says, you're better talking to Buffalo Brian about that Barlow knife. So a few you have. Slant Daily saying, not sure. For all you guys know, he could have been at Sykeston the last 2 years and you wouldn't have known. Justin Hill is saying day 203. 202 days, 3 hours, and 21 minutes.
Oh, Big Mike. My current daily driver is the 1984 W350. When the weather breaks, I'm going to be switching back to the Dart.
So, folks unfamiliar, tell them about your Dart.
1974 Dart. It has a 360 automatic transmission. Just an old. It's on my channel. Just an old beater.
Don says we were stalked by Unfinished Project at Chrysler's at Carlisle a few years ago. Busted Radio Garage says, not going to lie, I was actually looking forward to seeing the man that I have sent thousands of dollars in prizes. This is, Chris, to get audio is a pretty big feat. To get video, you're asking for a lot, man. Chris, I'll tell you, he agreed to do a live with me 1 to 3 years ago. I don't remember where. He said February 29th because that year didn't have a February 29th. I said, okay, well, this one does. Dust Devil says, I have been trolled. No, you have not. Unfinished Project is here. And we did good old-fashioned two-factor authentication, so I know it's him. Busted Radio Garage says, I've earned it. Hey, Busted Radio Chris, what do you imagine Unfinished Project looks like? Because I think that the vivid descriptions we've had are hilarious. I really like them. Charger 383 Mopar William is here. What's going on, man? Daddy's Money. No, Unfinished Project is here. He is here. He's in the house. He has a ceiling fan. Unlike Cope, his ceiling fan has 5 blades in it. Mater says, this is not Friday night. No, it is not. Tomorrow night, I will be live with Andy Wood from Unity Motorsports Garage, talking about his project Bad Intentions. Dust Devil said he thought you were a short, fat Asian guy.
I am a short, fat Asian guy.
You don't know that he's not. Badtree Blake says, like your typical serial killer, maybe. Busted Radio says a mix between Thor and Jesus.
I
don't know. I think that the gas station paintings of Jesus are funny enough. And it's not like we have photographs of him. Twisted Mopar Garage. How's it going? Scarlet thanks the Unabomber. Yeah, not a bad guess. You're a percent right there. We'll give it just a little tiny bit more here, and then we'll do a giveaway. Wait till we get maximum ordnance in the chat here. Yeah, Chris says, by the way, hello, gang. Dust Devil says, that's it. Unfinished is now to be known as Thesis. Doug, that's downright disturbing. He says Battle Creek, Michigan used to have a semi pro football team called the Serial Killers, spelled like cereal that you eat. Punisher Lamons is here. Yeah, Big Mike's asking a good question. So, in your own giveaway, are you going to win it?
No. No, unfortunately.
Here's a chance for somebody to win. It's the only one that you can win because he's exempt.
I'll tell you what. With my research for that question today, I learned that Plymouth was in talks to get the Tasmanian Devil for the Duster like they did the Roadrunner, but the deal fell through. And I actually have the name of the guy that did the artwork for the little Twister emblem that they decided to use.
Cool. Yeah, I bet
so that would be another good. That would be another good trivia question.
Hey, yeah. So Scarlett has a question for you. Is Unfinished Project regifting stuff from Busted Radio Garage?
No. I'll tell you, it's actually going to be a super clean giveaway. So if you're not interested in super clean and you know the answer, you could gift it to somebody else.
Well, I'm going to let you call it. We can do the giveaway anytime you want. We've got 42 in here.
Well, yeah, I think we need to put it out there because it's probably not going to be common knowledge.
Well, we're ready to do it whenever you want to do it.
All right.
I want you to watch the chat for who gets it first. All right?
All right. It'll probably be a while.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. In 1970, when they switched over to the Duster, well, they brought in the Duster, the fastback type vehicle, they had to figure out how to make the windows roll up in the doors to go up to the roof of the car. Because instead of going straight up, they were going to have to go up and in. What is the name of the engineer that figured out how to get that to work? If I'm not clear enough, just tell me to repeat the question.
What was the name of the engineer that made the door glass in that Duster Dart Sport Demon body possible?
Because that was actually a point of contention where they were struggling. It almost put the brakes on that design.
I'll tell you what, the wrong answers are pretty good.
Hey, yeah.
Edward von Uprollen, Dr. Phil, Twin Hacker. You watch the chat there. You call it when you see it. That's what I hear, Dustin. Have you seen it yet?
I have not.
You have not?
Possibly. I need it. Oh, yeah, I see it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you taking last name only, or do you have to have last and first name?
I want first and last.
Oh, you want both?
Yeah.
Okay, then I think I've got who got it first. You tell me if you tell me who you think got it first, because I think I got it.
I believe Indirect Connection got it first.
Well, I have Jason's Garage having it at 8:47.
I don't have a time. Let me go back up. Yes,
Uh,
you're
yeah.
correct. Jason's
Okay.
Garage. There.
I was going to
Missed
let you
that one.
call it. Wasn't trying to throw the block on you there, Jason, but wanted to make sure. Cool.
Yeah, Jason's Garage.
Jason's Garage. Right on. Rocky Myers, I just got here. What's the question? Good deal, Rocky. You're in here in time for the second giveaway. So Jason's Garage won the first one. Secretary Colleen, if you're in here, keep track of that so I don't forget that Jason won the first one. Unfinished project. Do you have a second question? I think you did, and we're going to do a No Name National shirt and stickers.
Oh, a second question?
Yeah, didn't you have another one?
Probably the one with that guy with the duster or the
Well,
devil situation.
you just said you had another.
Yeah, let me go back to it.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
John Worthy must have been an alien. John Worthy must have been an amazing engineer. John Worthy, does he? He's the guy that designed the system to make the door glass work in that new fuselage body, A body for 1970. And Rob, I hadn't either. I know one thing. I need to put door glass in the Dart Sport.
You say you need door glass for your Dart Sport?
I don't have door glass yet. Cope says he speaks English. Yes, he does.
I speak Yukon.
Danny Boyd says, I missed 21 minutes. There you are in the chat saying you're first, and then you miss 21 minutes when it goes live. No, that's right. That's on the other one. Dizzy is saying that Milt Antonick designed the 70 Duster. Okay.
Yes,
Max
that
Wedge
is
Dick
true.
Dastardly. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, Max Wedge Dick Dastardly put out a short on his channel last night. It's a good one. You'll want to see that. Rob's Rosin Streetcar says my door glass does that same design as it rolls up and in. B&R is here. And by the way, Danny Boy, there was actually several before that, but because of inactivity, they dropped off. Lars was actually the first. Buck Doesn't said, I thought he spoke Irish with all the potatoes flying around. Well, that would be Dougster. Two X Garage, that can't be true. Otherwise, the car would only have come with bucket seats. Dougster says there was a flurry of potato activity at the beginning of the chat. Yeah, there's a whole lot of people that were freaked out that Unfinished Project was actually going to be live. But assuming you can hear me, UP,
I can hear you.
When you chase down that question, we're going to do a giveaway for No Name National shirt and stickers.
I'm on the page that I was on, and I'm struggling to find it.
You'll get it. Nothing gets past you. Yes, B&R. I got your registration. Welcome back. Lars put up the link for Scarlet the Four-Eyed Cuda, who's running in our no-name 500. DNR says reboot. No reboot. Unfinished Project is just he's getting his trivia question together. We're gonna give away one of these shirts and some stickers. Junkyard D, hey everyone, is it Friday already? No, couldn't pull that off. Tomorrow I will be live with Andy Wood. Today I'm fulfilling a live stream that Unfinished Project agreed to be on years ago. He said February 29th he'd like to be on when I asked him. And this year's the first year that had a February 29th, so I'm holding to it. I'm glad to have him. Busted Radio says Linda's engine is at the builder as we speak. Cool. DNR, you can get in the bracket. We'll actually have two brackets, but I don't know what the other bracket's going to be. Jerry Franks, were any of you the ones messing with Rich during his live yesterday? No, Jerry. I mean, well, I don't know, but I'll tell you this: I'm banned over there. But I was watching some of that. It was entertaining.
I was building a table. I'm blocked, so I can't. There's no sense in me.
Yeah, we're both blocked. We called him online about his engine being together. We said we'd send him $100 to do a short with his engine running with today's newspaper. He said it is together and running, and to this day, it still isn't.
He took great offense to that, more so than what was warranted, in my opinion.
All he had to say was, "No, guys, it's not together. It's totally fine." But it was why lie about it. So we told him we'd send him $100 to do a short with it running with today's newspaper. And the guy came unhinged and blocked us both. We've been blocked ever since.
And I didn't go to him with that. He came to me in a live.
Yeah.
So that's how that all got started. We were having a conversation in a live where he was bragging that he had got it running. So we asked the question to put it out there.
This thing was completely apart 2 days ago. You mean it's all back together and running already? It wasn't. We were very polite about it, but he came unhinged. Punisher Lamont says the Punisher car will not be at No Name this year. Okay. Dizzy says the only trolling I do is for crappy. Right on. I don't have any trouble counts. I thought it was entertaining. Oh, look at this. Don, the one-eyed cat, are you calling out DNR? Buck Does It has a question for you while you're digging for your trivia question there. How do you come up with the names for your cars? Like Capital Punishment and Blockbuster.
Capital Punishment, self-explanatory. Blockbuster. I mean, it's just saying the obvious. Half pint, cruda.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, I found it. Not to get off of that topic. Okay.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. You ask it when you want and watch the chat for the winner.
All right.
And
I'm not very
scroll
good.
back to verify. We want to make sure we announce the right winner. Winner's going to win No Name National shirt like this one. Your choice, gray or black, any size, and stickers. Go ahead.
All right. Before I get too far, Jason's Garage needs to send me an email with his name and address of where he wants to have that super clean package sent. My email is on my about page.
I can get with Jason if he's already out. No worries there. We got it.
Okay. All right. After failed negotiations with Warner Brothers for use of the Tasmanian Devil cartoon, the Duster's Twister logo and font logo was created by who? Looking for a man's name.
Who created that Duster Twister logo? I think Google is melting right now. I don't know the answer to this one at all, so you're going to have to watch for it, UP. The wrong answers are awesome. Dr. Seuss, Forrest Gump.
I want it to be spelled correctly. Call me crazy.
Hey, it's your giveaway.
All right.
Do we have a winner?
We do. The
And
usual
it is
suspect here. I am going to call it Auto Salvage Outlaws.
I want to tell you, this is the first time I thought Auto Salvage Outlaws would ever win a spelling competition. I am floored. Good job, man. Let me know. Let me know what size and gray or black, and I'll get it to you. I got your dress. Rob's Rods and Streetcar says, I knew Thomas, but the last name was Foggy. Man, that's really good.
Yeah, that's pretty good if you knew that one.
Yeah, I didn't know it. Brian is worried about intellectual property here. Is he still alive? I need to hide from that man.
No, he passed away.
Well, but it also depends on the nature of the intellectual property. I think that will be considered a logo, and not a copyright would last longer. So, we have a question here for you. 38 POS Racing wants to know, what's your favorite homemade cookie?
That is easy. Throw out some guesses. Who thinks they know what my favorite cookie would be?
I think his new favorite would be whatever cookie Jackie wants to bring to No Name Nationals, because they are the bomb. So Junkyard D is saying oatmeal raisin. Danny Boyd is saying chocolate chip. Dakota says dumpster cookie. Cletus says chocolate chip oatmeal. Cope says potato cookies. Dougster says molasses cookies with 2 A's because, AA is his favorite transmission shop. That's why he spelled it that way, right, Cope? Wendy English cookies, snickerdoodle.
Well, see, there you go. 38 POS.
Chris for the win. Whatever is free.
38 POS had it.
All right.
He said chocolate chip with nuts, black walnut, chocolate chip. That's the favorite.
All right, 38. You win some stickers too. I'll send you some stickers. I just like to promote engagement. It's all just fun. Shopcat loves ginger cookies. Don, you made 10 passes in Sykeston? I didn't know you made that many. Cool. So, unfinished project, I'm sure a lot of these folks would like to know, what are your prospects for making the No Name Nationals this year?
Right now, they're pretty low, unfortunately. It's not looking good.
Now, the reason is because it's a situation that has nothing to do with your desire to be there. It's just
absolutely not. I'm
right.
registered. If things
He's been registered every year.
If things fall in place for me, we're going to be there. I mean, we have everything in place to go. Things just have to line up.
Cool. Yeah, the No Name Nationals has a huge supporter and unfinished project every year round. Greatly appreciate him. But he does have a very legitimate reason that keeps him from being able to do it. It's not willingness factor.
What are you doing at 3 a.m., Busted Radio Garage?
3 a.m. comes early, probably to work. People who are up at 3 a.m. either have a really good or a really bad reason. Not much in the middle. He's feeding cattle at 3 in the morning.
Cattle don't want to eat at 3 in the morning. It's too early.
Well, maybe his cattle are night owls. Maybe, maybe they like their Doritos and watching a late movie. Big Mike sleeps in until 4. Dust Devil gets up. He goes to bed at 3.
I believe that.
Slant Daly's up at 4 for the gym. If JB's up at 3, he's finishing a live stream. Rob's sleeping at 4. Yeah, I'm pretty exclusively sleeping at 4. But my dog sleeps with one eye open. He's a light sleeper, so there's no good time to sneak up on me. Don's alarm is 4:14. Indirect connections up at 3:25 every morning because my bladder hates me. Good to know you can set your watch by your bladder like that, Jason. Later, Chris, thanks for swinging by. This devil wakes up at the crack of noon. Mater's up at 4:30 to be at work by 6. Buck Doesn't gets home from work at 2:35 a.m. Wow, we got all shifts in here, don't we? It's amazing we got this many people in the chat right now. Jeff says 3 a.m. been asleep for 2 hours. Jeff only sleeps about 10 hours in an entire week. Max Wedge Dick Dastardly says up at 3 a.m. in bed until lunch. Dougster gets up at 4:50. Wow. Mike Ivan gets up at 3:10 and starts at 5. Mopar Jeff 604, what's going on? Welcome to this weird Thursday evening live. We don't normally do this, but our friend Unfinished Project said a while back that he would be on live on February 29th. And anyway, this is the year that we finally have a 29th of February. So I held him to it, and I'm glad he's here. So since you're not blocked from any of these folks in the chat, is there anything you want to ask any of them?
I wish. I'm not prepared.
You've only had like 2 years to prepare for it.
Oh, I have a question. I have a question for Buck. Are you up to date on your videos that you post of the Cruda, or are you way ahead and you're posting videos that you filmed in the past?
And while Buck is preparing his answer there, Jim's Fastback Garage just hit his 500 subs. So now he's past the No Name 500 and just waiting to register, but he's got his 500 now. Mike Ivan has a question for Buck too. Have you run your converter yet?
Max Wedge.
And the crowd hose silent. Okay. Buck says both, mostly ahead and posting later. Mexican Spec is in here. How's it going? Yeah, we got some different faces in here. I've long figured if I would just move my regular live to Thursday, I'd have a bigger crowd because people like to do other stuff. People with a life like to do things on Fridays, but it's been Friday for years. So, and I certainly don't have a life, so it works good for me. Mexican Spec says I'm not the only one that's camera shy.
I actually owe Mexican Spec a video.
Buck has been doing his flash stall testing there in the driveway. Cool. Cletus says I'm camera shy too. No, you're not. Been on camera lots of times. Cletus's grill rivals a 51 Ford pickup. JB says I never get in front of a camera. I'll finish that. I never get in front of a camera I don't like. How's that, JB? .38 says I'm a little mic shy. Well, I've had 38 POS racing on live too. It was great. Dust Devil says I'm not camera shy, but should be. Max Wedge Dick Dasher says I'm better looking off camera. If you want to see a short, I helped remix a short for Max Wedge Dick Dastardly. We told him, he said he had a bunch of carb spacers. I said, hey, you should put all of them on your cross ram and do a burnout with it. So he did exactly that. So there's a short of that on his channel. It's a great one. If you're not familiar with Max Wedge Dick Dastardly, that's one worth going over there to watch. There's lots of good content over there, but maybe that'll be the one that'll reel you in. Dizzy said I have a face made for radio. Lars theorizes that Unfinished Project is in the witness protection program. .38 POS Racing says I have a face for radio and a voice for newspaper. It doesn't stop me. Mexican Spec's been patiently waiting for your video there, Unfinished Project.
Yeah, I need to get on that. I've got some groundwork to do before I'm ready to film that, and it's just a project that I haven't brought to the forefront. Maybe when spring breaks and I stop driving the W350 and put the Dart back on the road, we will see if I can get that one done. I ordered a set of turn signal lenses for, I'm going to say, a late 70s grill for a Dodge pickup. And I'm going to put them in and do a little video. because Mexican Spec has a business where he sells reproduction lenses.
Unfinished Project is a super mod. Look at that. He even puts up links while he's a guest. Yeah, go to live chat, Jeff, instead of top chat. It does not like Max Wedge Dick Dastardly. You'll be able to see his comments on live chat. You know what I should do? I just thought of this. I should put Max Wedge Dick Dastardly on the whitelist for comments on the YouTube side. I think that would help. I had to do that with Dan E. Boyd because of the stuff he says. Right. Shopcats concurs. What I want to know is why I can't get notifications for Two Hacks Jeff's channel. Some people can, and I can't. I've even made a video showing Jeff what happens when I try to click the bell. I click it, and it just goes right back off with no notifications. No explanation for it. Functional histories, I don't know. I know that every live I ever do. Oh, there's Engine Light Garage. He's in the No Name 500 as well. Functional histories, every live I ever do, people tell me, hey, did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see this? There's all kinds of comments I'll get emailed to me and whatever I never saw. Every time. And we average about 600 to 800 chat comments per hour. So in all that time, there's some that just, for whatever reason, we miss.
Yeah. Struggling here. I've got out and trying to get back in.
Well, you're on the screen. You're live now.
Oh yeah, that I'm only trying to figure out this laptop on the fly.
Now, Mexican specs of the turn signals for the 77 to 78 Dodge trucks are not easy to find. I have new ones.
Yes, and they look good. They're good.
I like the 77 clear, by the way.
I've got the amber.
Yeah. Of course, I like the 1980 grill. I think it's slick.
I had a 79 that had quad headlights. I really liked that one. It was my first vehicle.
Shopcat says he's averaging $3 a day YouTube pay. That's better than most people are making off YouTube. Danny Boyd says in Ford, the 76 is clear and the 79 is amber. Well, 78 was amber, wasn't it, Dan? And then 77 was amber, wasn't it? Yeah, Big Mike says the same thing. He has channels that somebody can't see. Yeah, it's a YouTube thing. I don't know what to tell you. YouTube has this bizarre, weird filtering system that I don't think serves us all that well. That, and I think that YouTube's in-house moderation team has no wisdom. They don't make good decisions when they manually review stuff, and also don't really manually review things. Rob says, does YouTube send the $10.99 for it? The first draw I ever took of the YouTube money was last year, and I don't remember. Scarlett says 4 headlights is where it's at. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with 4 headlights. I just like round headlights. So the square headlight thing on the car was always weirded me out. Unfinished Project, do you know if Mexican Spec has the side markers? Do you have any experience with them?
I do not know.
He's in here, but I figured I'd ask if you had a review of them. Cletus says they don't send it, you have to print it. Right, but they send it. I'm just trying to remember. Mexican Spec says he believes he has them for the Ford trucks and the side markers for the Dodge trucks with a plastic base so no rust. Well, there you go. Hey, Mexican Spec, what is that, a gremlin in your for your little channel icon there? I just noticed that. I think Unfinished Project should tell us about some of his auction finds. Unfinished Project is an auction junkie. I think it's pretty neat, a lot of the things he comes up with. I mean, you probably don't show but 2% of the weird stuff that you come up with on your channel, though, do you?
Right. I would love to post some more of my stuff, but one, I don't take the time to do it, and two, I don't really want my channel. I don't know what I want my channel to be, but I don't want it to be where look what I bought, look what I bought, look what I bought type stuff.
Okay, fair enough. There's a lot of those channels out there.
Yes, but I do buy a lot of really neat stuff at auction, but if it's coming home with me, it was bought cheap. I'm not spending a lot of money.
LP says we need more Unfinished Project cooking videos.
I do enjoy cooking, no doubt about that.
Redbeard Racing 710, the guy with the red Hemi, is in the house. Yes, Functional Histories. YouTube takes 30% of your super chats. But the way they figure, I guess, money you probably wouldn't have had if they hadn't made it so easy. So I don't begrudge it. Hoosier says, hello, gang-a-lang. Hoosier, I watched your video about the setup for the Indy Swap today. Red Beard hates that red. It is bizarre. It's, you know, it's different.
So you'll probably lose 25% of that 28 to taxes.
Yeah. It's like in real estate. I don't think a lot of people realize you start with the total commission, then you maybe get half of it in the gross goes to brokerage. Then you have the part that goes off the referral fee. Then you have the part that goes off the brokerage split. Then you get that, deduct your expenses, and then you pay taxes on it. So these people that think an agent gets 6% of that cost have no idea. A whole lot of bites taken out of that before any of it gets to your pocket. Big Mike likes his auction wins too. Hoosier suggests just tell your folks to do PayPal instead of Super Chat. Here's the thing. I mean, do whatever you want to do. You guys have your own business model, but I'll say this. It is a whole lot easier to get somebody to click that Super Chat than to go through and do a PayPal to do it. And that's what I think. But I have a credit card processing site just for paying rent and fees and stuff. Because even though I'm losing, what is it, like 3.3%, to me, it's worth it to cut out all the hassle. 38, you getting a license? That's interesting. We're at the hour mark, and I mean, we can stick around as long as Unfinished Project wants to. It's totally up to him. I wasn't going to tie him up all night, but thought we would go live and fulfill this long anticipated live stream with the unfinished project. So
No, I'm good as long as everybody else is.
yeah, we got a good crowd in here. Dougster's got a Coleman lantern collection. Cletus says Cash App is great, but it's far easier to do Super Chat. I agree. 38 says doing some transactions. Cool, right on. I actually went with a client today and we previewed an auction property that was a place that delivered oil and kerosene and propane. So we did that earlier today. Some industrial property. Dakota says we have a rusty car collection. Indeed, they do. Big Mike says that
at his last auction, I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in the day, station wagons, when they would hook up to trailers and whatnot, they would put these mirrors that mounted to the front fenders. They would kind of clip under the hood, and they had a little J hook that went under the wheel well. I got a couple of those. Real nice set of vintage ones.
cool.
So if anybody has a wagon and they're looking for a real neat set of mirrors, hit me up.
Right on. Danny Boyd says he remembers those. The van has mirrors like that, but they're all mounted with screws on the fenders. I haven't driven the van really all winter. I need to get it out and go terrify some people. Dakota said rusty and fast. That's the only two things I want my cars to be. And Danny Boyd says a full-size car was all you needed to tow. Yeah, it was different then for sure. The days of bumper hitches and all that are over.
Well, I'll tell you what, that Junker Up Chris Bird song, he tows with his General Lee.
I've heard that. I've never seen it, but I've heard it.
He's got videos. He goes right on. I mean, long distance too.
There used to be a guy, and when the old Princeton Dragway was open, Ginger Lane there, he towed his Barracuda Grand Coupe race car to the track on an open trailer with a 71 Barracuda convertible. And that trailer he pulled it on was a Dayton Hub mobile home axle. I don't even think it had any brakes. And he towed it with that Barracuda convertible. Talk about sketchy. And from Pulaski to Princeton, we're not talking about an in-town tow either. That's a pretty good hike. That's probably 40-some miles, 50 miles. Brian Beeler says, what's up with Roach Runner? You sell it. No, Roach Runner is waiting on me to finish some things up. I've got the last little bit to go on my house remodel, some really important things I had to do. And it was either get that done, get the Roach Runner done, or the No Name Nationals. I could pretty much have picked any two, but not all three. And so what am I going to do? I had to do what I had to do, and I had to wait on that. Some other things factored in there too, but no, that's the deal with the Roach Runner.
I actually have a part for the Roach Runner that I'm going
to
do the build when it gets underway. I've got some stuff to do to it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've got. I have a few things that have to get squared away, and then we can do some stuff with the Roach Runner. Dakota, no, that's a week of straight solid work. I bring the van because that van is packed floor to ceiling inside with signs and banners and all of the stuff that we need there on site for the event.
I'll tell you the neatest little thing I've seen for towing and talking about cars and trailers. There's a hitch that's made to go on the top of a Volkswagen Bug, and it
Yes.
pulls a fifth wheel style camper. It's the neatest little thing. They could drive around in a circle while connected to the trailer. It's wild.
I'm going to see if I can pull that up. Yeah, they could literally turn it on backwards and push the trailer with it. I've got
Yeah.
a picture of it here. It would clamp onto the top of the car from gutter to gutter, and then the trailer would mount on the top. And it's almost like a fifth wheel, but it's not. It's just a pin. And you could turn a tight circle. You can turn all the way around and push the trailer forwards back into a space or anything with that.
That's funny that you have that on your phone.
Well, I just looked it up because I knew exactly what you were talking about. "38 POS Racing" said that his dad put a receiver hitch under his 59 Bel Air. He never had a truck. I don't know. Your 59 Chevy's is a parts delivery truck for me. He brought a transmission down in the trunk of that 59 Chevy of his.
Yeah, when I was younger, everybody had a hitch on their car around here.
Well, that's coming back now. People doing drive and drag stuff with the hitch on the back of the car. I like the hitch that Clay from My Next Project has. He has a hitch that was designed to go on a 73 or 4 Duster. I think it's a dealer installed hitch.
I put a receiver hitch under a 75 Swinger that I had, slant 6. I cut the sides and made mounts that went through the rear frame with rails.
Neat. Hey, Wendy, check it out. We're live with Unfinished Project. And no, Unfinished Project is not Mopar Den. That was her guess a couple years ago.
Well, now she'll have to guess again.
Yep, now she'll have to guess again. Yeah, for those of you just joining, he's fulfilling, and he said he would go on live with me on February 29th. Then this is the first year that February had a 29th. Max Wedge Dick Dastry said, "Dad's 64 Plymouth Max Wedge had a ball on the bumper. It drove his buddies insane, and he wouldn't remove it." Cool. Rainy Day Auto says, "I have a receiver hitch on my Valiant. I think it's from a Jeep Cherokee. I haul my riding mower around." Right on. You're hauling a riding mower around with a Valiant? High five. I love it. Jim's Fastback Garage says, "My dad towed his race car to the track 17 miles with a 1970s Cyclone GT and a U-Haul clamp-on hitch." Cool. Mater's Workshop said, "I'll be getting more 220s and 228s along with some 200s soon." Okay. Mexican Spec said those U-Haul bumper hitches were scary or sketchy. Yes, they were. I think the whole surge brake thing. What's your take on surge brakes on Finished Project?
No, I don't like them.
I don't either.
We used to have a pressure washer trailer that had the water tanks on it, and it had that style braking, and was no good for that type of trailer.
LP94 said a person told me not long ago a non-NNN channel, Rich, excuse me, said Unfinished Project was a bot, not a real person.
You would be surprised at how many people believe that. I am a bot.
He's a ninja. Mexican Spec said the next leap year will be during the year of the 7th annual No Name Nationals. If I survive that long, then we would love to have Unfinished Project back for that. My mom's cousin, his birthday was on leap year. So that works out good for people who don't like birthdays. That way they can never get cornered on it for 3 out of 4 years. "38 says that the surge brake would just perpetuate the surge with tanks on. What I don't like is you can't use them to get rid of sway or anything like that. I just don't like the whole surge brake thing. Max Wedge Dick Dastardly says faceless at No Name Nationals. Well, I'll tell you, if he comes to No Name Nationals, how would we even know? I have wondered how many do you think of our trolls actually go there and don't tell them? You get a spectator ticket, don't tell anybody. I'm sure some of them do. DNR's is a class 4 hitch is my go-to. That's what a lot of stuff has. Although the CRV's got one a little bit lighter, but it's done everything I've ever wanted to do. Well, the hitch itself is made out of considerably better steel than the frame rails, so I'm certainly not worried about it. Rainy Day Auto says, I've never heard of the Unfinished Project channel before. Unfinished Project is a member of our community. You'll see him regularly. He's registered for No Name Nationals each year, waiting for the stars to align to make it. But he is one of our friends.
Well, I find that funny that Rainy Day Auto has never heard of me because we have chatted in a live before. I actually hadn't subscribed to their channel and saw where they just recently posted their first video using their bore gauge on their, I believe it was a 318.
That's
I
right.
commented on that video.
That's right. You sent that to me.
Yes.
I remember that. Now I put it together that was Rainy Day Auto. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I know you.
Shopcat Industries says that Unfinished Project is the man, the myth, and the legend. And here is a link. Lars put up a link in the chat to Unfinished Project. So you can go there and check out his channel, Rainy Day Auto. Mopar Nut 62. My gosh, Mopar Nut 62 is in here. Comments on my channel, and he is real. Yes, he is. And Rainy Day Auto subscribed. There you go. And so did Shopcat. Yeah, here we are with 202 days and 2 hours and 22 minutes. How you like that? Until the 3rd annual No Name National. So this is just kind of a bonus live. I typically only go live weird midweek things on my channel when the No Name 500 guys are really close to 500, and then we go out and go fishing and make a campaign to get the rest of their subs. Mexican Spec says people think Unfinished Project is a bot because he's always number one in the comments on a few channels. I want to know how he does that. So, what is the secret to your speed, Unfinished Project? You're almost always first and you're everywhere. You're omnipresent. How do you do it?
I don't know. There is no secret sauce.
Indirect Connection wants a link to Rainy Day Auto's channel. So if one of the mods would pop that up, that would be cool. Moparnut 62 says that UP is a machine, very fast. Yes, he is.
I'll tell you what.
Rainy Day is saying that making videos is time consuming. Yes, it is. Depends what you make. Shorts don't have to be time consuming, but Junkyard D says, growing up, we pulled a 74 tri-hull fiberglass boat behind an 83 Aries K-car wagon. No third gear. Yikes. No third. I guess you toasted the clutches in the drum. In the high gear drum. That's my guess. Jabo says, is it Friday? No, it's not. Jabo, it is leap year day. Unfinished Project, once upon a time, I asked him when he would come on a live stream with me, and he said February 29th. Well, that year didn't have one, but this year does. So I found that. It jogged my memory, and here we are. I'm live with Unfinished Project. Check it out. Mater, I'm not speaking for Lars, but Lars, I don't think, would miss it. He never has.
Yes, Danny. That's a good way to be first, is to be awake when they drop the video.
So there you go. You're getting tech tips from the guy who's usually first. Rainy Day said Unfinished must be like me, kind of shy to look in the camera. Well, you got him here. This is pretty rare. Coach says he has your picture.
I believe it. He has my real name. So once you have my real name, it's easy to get all of the information.
Mexican Spec is saying the K car could have been a stick shift. Yeah.
I've actually seen one of the early minivans that was a stick shift. An early Caravan.
I've heard that. I've never seen one, but I have heard that you could get that.
My sister-in-law had a K car. Man, it was the cleanest little car. Man, long gone.
So for those of you who keep asking what Unfinished Project looks like, I'm going to put up the only picture I have. Here we go. That's the only one I have. That's his contact picture.
that was I had to shave for my wedding. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. He's a few years older now, you know. I don't know, Danny Boyd. I wouldn't say nothing says Malay's like a K car. That was when we were coming out of that period. Dakota says, looks like the guy from the Goonies. Very good, Dakota. Old McDonald says he obviously does wheel alignments. Well, I think I've seen some alignments I think were done by that guy. Definitely. I had a friend of mine have an alignment done on his car. He says, man, this thing still drives terrible. I said, well, do you have the printout? And he sent me the printout. I said, I know what the problem is. Take the printout in there, talk to the manager and says, hey, can someone who knows how to align a car align my car now? It was the most jacked up mess I'd ever seen. Big Mike says there were some stick shift K cars, and my grandmother had a Dynasty with a stick. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a Dynasty. Wow.
Max Wedge said he had a K-car wagon. Speaking of wagons, on that page that had those guys' names that we did for the trivia earlier, they had a sketch of a Duster Sport Wagon.
Really?
Yes. I'll have to send that to you later. My phone is
Right.
tied.
Use. Can I get to it this way? We'll see. Maybe.
Duster Sport Wagon.
Let's see if I can pull that up. Nah, I just get modern stuff. Oh yeah, that's right. They're in other countries, like in South America, there's a modern car called a Duster. I got a Trail Duster. I've got one that looks like a C-body. I don't know. That's just a Google search.
I have a picture up from when I turned my cam off, and I see the picture, but on the laptop, I just see a white circle.
Okay. Yes, Ron English. So we are live with The Unfinished Project. That's why it's an unusual Thursday evening live stream. I didn't see anyone else live tonight, so it worked out perfectly. We were been scheduled to go live with Unfinished Project for a very long time on February 29th. Rainy Day Auto actually saw a K car in New Delhi. Last place I expected to see one. Fun fact, New Delhi is the last place you expect to see me. B&R put a custom ground cam in a 2.2. Professor P and I were talking about regrinding factory cams today. We're going to talk about that tomorrow on the Live with Andy Wood. Mexican Spec usually knows these weird things. Says he's asking Unfinished Project a question. Was the Dart Sport wagon an F car with a Dart Sport front end? Dart Sport wagon? The Dart Sport front end wouldn't fit an F body car because it was an A body. The Dart Sport was purely a 73, 4, 5, or 6, whichever year Dart front end, front clip on a Plymouth with a dedicated tail panel. And that's it. Even has the Plymouth wheel openings in the back. Didn't get its own. Indirect Connection says, I think the Duster in Mexico was a Volare here. Yeah, I think so. Mexican Spec would definitely know that. And Rainy Day Auto says the Renault Duster is also in India. Okay. Yeah, K cars are neat. I just, they're front wheel drive. Never realized Chrysler did that or with the neons either. Wendy English is asking you a question on Finished Project. Wants to know if you're going to be live every February 29th.
At this time, no.
I guess we'll cross that bridge later. Maybe this one will tell him why he shouldn't say February 29th, because it actually does happen.
I'll tell you what, it's not something that you just do on a whim.
Right. Well, it can be.
My battery's dying. The whole 9 yards. I'll be right back. 1 minute.
Functional histories. The Scouts are cool. I knew somebody that had one. They're neat. I like them. I don't know. I mean, functional histories. I never even thought about the leap year live. Is the next leap year live? When is one on a Friday? I don't know. Who knows? It's a lot of years from now. Random lives are the best. Can be. Had a good crowd in here tonight. Dougster wants a 60s International Travelall. He's not into the Scout. I like the Scout, but International had some cool stuff. Mexican Specs, the Dart name was used from 67 up into the 80s with the K cars. Did not know that. Of course, then there's that disaster of a car that they put the Dart name on that Fiat made. Brian Beeler's got a hot stock tip here. He says, need to buy up any and every 66 to 77 Bronco possible. Yeah, those things hold their value. There's an old man that lives down the street from me who has a really original looking blue 60s Bronco. And it's his daily. And his wife drives a 70s Pontiac. It's her daily. They don't own a vehicle that's been made in the last 50 years. I really want to do a video with them for the channel. And I was this close to catching them both earlier this week and couldn't quite pull it off. But I'd love to do a video with them and ask them about that. They have completely opted out of modern life with automobiles. Brian Beeler saying worth more than Charger Camaro. I can totally believe that. Those things are super popular, and they're great vehicles. Dust Devil likes the 78 9 Broncos. Yeah, I got a good friend that's into those things too. One-eyed cat, you should wrestle one of those away from Uncle Sonny and make you a race car. Huh. Rainy Day Auto says, I'm not allowed to be into cars in India. That's an all-American thing I do here in Colorado only. So you go back and forth between Colorado and India, and when you're in America, you get to live as an American, right? Huh. Interesting.
What country is it where all of those guys are like in a car, they're racing down the road, they'll flip it up on two wheels.
Oh, yeah.
Climb out on the car, take the wheels off, put them back on, and then climb back in, and it drops back down.
I have seen some crazy stuff in places that's not here. Oh, here we go. So, Unfinished Project just sent me this 66 Duster Sport Wagon proposal. So, there you go. That's wild looking, isn't it? It's got front openings like the 71 Dart, kind of. 71, sort of. Isn't that wild?
The concept of the A body started in, I believe it was 52 when they started drawing those cars out.
Mater, no, you don't have to register as a spectator, but you get a discount if you buy your spectator tickets online before the event. T thought it was Friday for a moment. No, T, we have the Unfinished Project in the house. Thanks for joining us. It's a February 29th thing. Tomorrow night, we'll be live with Andy Wood, Unity Motorsports Garage, talking about his project, Bad Intentions. Brown Beeler says it looked like a javelin. Yeah. Rainy Day Auto says that the country where they do all that wild stuff, she says that's Saudi. There you go. Functional Histories thinks that car looks like a Torino. Two Axe thinks it looks like an AMC Marlin. I can see all of that, actually. I thought it looked kind of AMC. There's that Mopar Joe guy. Is Joe in here? Or are you seeing him right here? There's Joe. Joe is in here. Thanks for bringing by, swinging into the live, Joe. We've got Andy Wood on tomorrow night, and we'll probably mention your project in that live as well.
Is Just Mopar Joe going to be building that 318 block that he was showing off?
That's something to talk with Joe about. But we'll be talking with Joe hopefully on a Friday live here soon. Max Wedge Dick Dastard likes the Henry J race cars. Yeah, a lot of people do. They are cool.
They look cool.
Mater is crashing out for the night. Well, thanks for joining us. Patrick's still in here. Mexican Spec. They hold their value here for sure. I'm just not a fan of needing to know what color it is just so you can order the right parts. Okay. Yeah, I get that. Joe says Dart Sport. Two Hacks says, speaking of 318s, yes, Jeff, Two Hacks Jeff is doing some 318 stuff too. Lots of 318 stuff in the pipeline right now. Rainy Auto says Marlins are hard to find parts for. Yes, they are. When you see them, it's kind of like, oh, check that out. Okay, tell me who doesn't do this. You'll be driving by and you're like, oh, hey, is that an old 66-7 Charger? Oh, no, it's a Marlin. Tell me you've never done that. Everybody here's done that.
I would say I probably see 10 Chargers for every Marlin I've ever seen. They're just not all that common around here.
Yeah, you don't see them. Joe loves to courier stuff. He's courier some parts, I guess, for Patrick. Max Wedge Dick Dasherly says someone needs a 360 LA cheap. Who doesn't need a 360 LA cheap? Well, I think even though we got a great crowd in here tonight, I think I'll wrap up at the time I normally wrap up on Fridays. I don't want to live stream people out. We're going to have Andy Wood tomorrow night talking about Project Bad Intentions. And that'll be tomorrow, his next chapter of his all new 318 build. And that'll be a lot of fun. And then on March 29th, that Friday, we're going to have a live stream just for folks who want information. This is primarily aimed at new channels who want information on the No Name Nationals. Any type of the nuts and bolts administrative type questions, we're going to answer on that live March 29th, that Friday. Okay. So anything like, what happens if I don't get my 500? What if I want the No Name 500? What if I want to get in it? Tell us more about it. Tell us more about the classes. What do you do there? Et cetera, any of that kind of stuff. Friday, March 29th is going to be the place and time to ask that. It'll be all about that. Max Wedge, you may be taking a 360 from here. You're a good bit west, Max Wedge, Dick Dastardly. We may have to veer over and make that work. Because, yes, I'm going to be heading up pretty soon up to the eastern part of the state. But I have to make that work. Functional History says I'll be there in EDM. Yeah, March, it'll be the regular Friday live. Regular time will be live on that Friday. And that'll be about that. Unfinished product, seats and an engine. Rebels are cool. Yes, they are. Lars has the link to register. Chris 103 Custom says no more than 1 foot of rubber fuel line, I think. That is correct. Speaking of that, I'll be having a live soon, probably a live after that one with Deke Denny. I talked to Deke today, so we try to have 2 live streams a year with our tech director, Deke Denny. He is our tech official who does, and you can ask questions throughout the year. The best thing to do is email any of your tech questions to john@PrincetonDragway.com, and I'll get those over to Deke and get you answers. But that said, we're going to have him live here sometime in April. That's the idea. And then we'll have him on again closer to time because we want to give everybody every opportunity to have the smoothest pass through tech inspection they possibly can. Anybody else have anything else for Unfinished Project? And we'll go ahead and wrap up for the evening. Unfinished Project, do you have anything? Anything you want to plug or do?
No. I wish. Congratulations to Jason's Garage and Auto Salvage Outlaws. I believe they've probably got 10,000 stickers now.
Jeremy Finley. Need to talk to you. It's good timing on that. Need to talk to you. I got something, need some shingles. All right, guys. Well, we're our regular time we normally shut down anyway. Just it's kind of arbitrary, but I guess I will see most, if not all, of you guys tomorrow night live with Andy. And want to thank Unfinished Project for coming on. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for doing this.
No problem. Just a little stressful.
Well, thanks for honoring it. We appreciate you. We love having you on here. Seeing the surprise by the chat when you agreed to come on was great. So anyway, guys, thanks for coming out. I'll see, I guess, most all of you guys tomorrow. Take care. Have a good evening.
Thanks a lot, guys. See you all later.